Okay, welcome back. We are getting ready to use some more of my favorite Suriny rice bran oil in baking this time. Like I've said before, it is a wonderful all-purpose oil. You can use it for baking, frying, vinaigrettes, whatever, and roasting. But right now, we're going to show you how to use it in baked goods. We're going to try two different things. We're going to use it in a savory baked good, a cornbread, and then we're going to try a sweet pumpkin cranberry muffin, which is wonderful for the holidays, and I have clients that eat it every morning for breakfast, so it is just a wonderful thing to have. We are going to start out with the dry ingredients. We're going to do the cornbread sticks. We're going to take equal parts, 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of coarse ground cornmeal, stick it in a bowl. Okay, to that we're going to add just a 1/4 cup of sugar. We're going to give it a little sweetness. I like a sweeter cornbread. You can cut that back if you don't. Okay, then we're going to add 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, we want to give it a nice rise. And just add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now it's important to mix that all up because you don't want to taste a little clump of baking powder in your muffin. So what I like to do is I use a whisk. It breaks it up really nice. You have no clumps of anything left. Wonderful. Okay, next comes the wet ingredients. So we're just going to use 1 egg. If you are really watching your fat and cholesterol, you may use an egg substitute, but 1 egg is a very big powerhouse, vitamin-packed little guy here. So I use the fresh egg. Okay, next we are going to take a cup of low-fat milk. There's most of our liquid. And finally, just a 1/4 cup of the Suriny rice bran oil. A lot of other muffin recipes may call for more, but this you can use less. Anywhere, you can start with a 1/4 less. If you're using a cake mix or something and you're not following a recipe specifically for design for this, I would cut the amount of oil back by 1/4 because it really does require less oil. Okay. I love the bottle too because it's such a controlled pour. Wonderful. Okay, we are going to mix this all up together and then mix it in with our dry ingredients. Okay, now we've mixed all those wet ingredients up together. We're going to put it in with the dry ingredients. You don't want to mix this up too much. The oil is going to give these muffins a very light texture, a wonderful crumb, not sticky, not dry, just wonderful. Now this is the basic cornbread recipe. What I like to do though, I like to add extra corn. Just because if it's going to be cornbread, I figure a little real corn is just another way to pack up extra nutritional punch. Okay, going to add a little extra fiber. So I take, once I've gotten this all mixed up, we're going to take 1 cup of corn. You can use fresh or you can use frozen. Just thaw it out a little bit. The sweeter the better. And we're going to toss this together. Now, you can make these into muffins. You can make these into cornbread sticks if you have one of these really neat little pans. You can make it into cornbread in a 9x9 pan. Now, another thing you want to do with this rice bran oil, which I haven't mentioned yet, is if you can find one of these pumps. They're available at almost every different kind of store you can think of. Anything that sells kitchen supplies will probably sell one of these pumps, and they don't have to look exactly this way, but I like this one, it's pretty. You are going to fill it with the oil, and instead of using non-stick cooking sprays or any of those things with all those additives, you take it and it sprays right like that. You can put it in, spread it around, and you have a non-stick cooking spray that has no additives, no preservatives. It's healthy for you, and because of the high smoke point, it will not get gummy like some of the other oils will when it gets hot. So you can use this in a baking sheet and bake and not end up having that gummy residue at the end. It's just wonderful. We are going to preheat this in the oven for a minute while we get our muffins ready. If you're using a cast iron thing like that, it's good to preheat it. You want to get a nice crisp crust on those corn sticks. Now on a muffin, it's not that important. We're going to do the muffins now. We're going to make some plain muffins, and then for the corn sticks, we're going to jazz it up a little bit. You can jazz up cornbread anyway. You can add cheese. You can add jalapenos. You can add bacon. You can add roasted peppers. Whatever you can think of practically, you can add to a corn muffin, and it's good. What we're going to do today is a little traditional. We're going to take a little bit of cheese, sharp cheddar cheese, and a little bit of fresh jalapeno, mix it in with there, give you a little extra protein and a little extra zip. Now, another thing I love, these little ice cream scoops. They are great for muffins. This goes in a muffin tin. No muss, no fuss. All the muffins are the same size. What could be easier? Now that I'm about done filling these muffin tins, you'll see I only used half the batter because we're going to use the other half in those cornbread sticks. So now that cornbread pan has warmed up a little bit. We're going to stick these in the oven, add our ingredients to this, and come back and fill those cornbread tins. The corn muffins will take about 15 to 18 minutes. The corn sticks will only take about 15. So you stick that in first, come add a few extra things to this thing, and you're ready to roll. So we're going to take a little bit of cheese, maybe a half a cup or so, not a whole lot. We're not making cheese muffins, we're making corn muffins with cheese. So if I was going to use a whole recipe, I would use a half a cup, but we're just using half a recipe. Then a little bit of chopped jalapeno. Depending on your heatness desirability, you can use whatever you want. Okay? How hot do we want it? That looks good. Okay, now we're going to mix in cheese and the jalapeno and put it in the corn sticks, and then they're going to be ready in a jiffy. Now we're going to fill these, the cornbread tins. Once again, we can use this scoop. And one of the wonderful things about this oil is because you use less, and even though it's healthy, you are ingesting less calories, which is always a plus for most people. I have only know one person in my life that had to try to gain weight, so most people are trying to lose. So this is a wonderful way to watch the calories, and then the calories that you do get are healthy ones. Okay? Anybody working with high cholesterol, this has been shown to reduce the amount of bad cholesterol in your system and also your triglycerides. So it is great for warding off heart disease. Another benefit of this oil is the fact that it is very hypoallergenic. Okay, so if you're allergic to canola oil or peanut oil or any of those other oils, you will not be allergic to this. Rice is one of the easiest digested foods, and this rice bran oil has not been chemically treated, so there is nothing to get in the way of you enjoying a wonderful oil. We are going to put this in the oven and check back on it in 15 minutes. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. We're going to check on these cornbread sticks. Oh, they're looking good. We got cornbread, nice and golden brown, all the same size. Some beautiful cornbread sticks. Look at that. I got to show you what these look like. If you don't have one of these pans, you can make the cornbread muffins. You can make it in another pan, but these are just the neatest things. Isn't that cute? What kid wouldn't want to eat that? So, and the texture is just to die for with this oil. And you've only used 1/4 cup in all of these muffins.